Hello, I'm Daphna, and I'm back with another production breakdown, this time for my new song that just came out, Where Do You Go?
Getting stressed over the weight of my decisions, getting used to existential disposition.
I had a lot of fun with the last production breakdown, as we know, so I figured let's do another one. This production in this song is fun, definitely a lot less going on, but still some new elements that I thought could be cool to show you. So let's get into it. As you know, time to put the glasses on. We got different glasses on this time though, so spicing it up a little. Let's begin. The intro, very quick, only 2 bars, but this is the beginning of the song. This is drawing people in. I thought this synth was so cool. And it kind of just loops through that. I do change it a little. Just because, chords and stuff, they change. It happens. But it's from the OPX plugin, one of my favorites. It's called the AB4 accordion. And really, I didn't do much to change it at all. I just put EQ on it. I guess I didn't put any reverb on it, which I have to admit, I was a little bit lazy when producing and mixing this song. So you're probably going to notice some things that you're like, maybe you should have done something different there. And to that I will say, yeah, probably, but I didn't. And that's what that is. So that's the main synth. And then, speaking of my laziness, as I told you before, drums. I love drums. I think drums are so cool and add so much to the song, but my technical ability to make cool sounding drums is very, very limited. Okay, so I caved and I cheated and I used a splice loop throughout the whole song. Sometimes I just use little parts. This time I was like, no, it's gonna be for the whole song. This was a really cool splice loop. Bad dog. Here she is. So that's the loop straight from Splice. So sick. I was just listening through loops and I just downloaded this one without it wasn't for this song specifically, but I was like, I know I do want to use it at some point because it's really cool. So I downloaded that and then I sped it up. My song's at 120. The loop was originally at 110, so I sped it up a little bit and that's what it sounds like sped up. Oh, do you want to see how I sped it up? This is actually a new trick. I used to do it a different way that was still pretty quick, but didn't really make that much sense. But then one of my friends showed me this the other day, and I was like, wow, wait, that's kind of sick. If you just hold Option key, you can drag it to fit the timeline, and then bam, it's in time with the song. That's so easy. That's just the normal loop. Didn't really do much to the EQ at all. And then below it, I wanted to have more of the these frequencies almost, just kind of laying on top of it. So I put it in a spreader, and I feel that kind of just gives more movement because this is it without the spreader. And then when you put the spreader, it kind of shifts throughout the song, and it gives you more what's going on kind of feel.
What the fuck is going on?
So I liked having that. So then it's okay, I'm not just using a loop, I'm changing it up a little bit. And then also that loop doesn't really have hats that much in it, or if it does, I wanted more hats. So I put this loop over it, but then I added, this is it without the plugins. But then I added a flanger, which gives it that and then just EQ'd it a bit. And then it kind of makes it sound like it's coming through a tube almost. I don't know, but I liked the sound it gave, and then that's what the other sound like. So that's the drums. And then as for just sound effects, we got this weird laser sounds kind of. I didn't even know what it was. It was just sounds. So I was let me put that with a tremolo on it, kind of in the background. Just add some more texture. And then this is one of my favorite sounds ever. I love songs when they have like a screech. Like, I love a good screech. So I looked up just like window swiping, and this is what came up. So sick. And then I just added a tremolo on it so it would like kind of swipe from left to right, like in your ears, like, you know? And then saturation, so just give it a little bit more grit. And then that was the intro. So then we have like the vocals come in, and then some more synths. So we have the bass come in, which is a very simple bass line, literally just me like alternating the like bass notes. And then I just put this like stock Logic amp in like preset. I think I changed it a little bit so it'd be more distorted. But yeah, I just liked like having like a low, gritty bass. I thought this song would benefit from it. And then the only other element is this little melody. It's kind of like waiting music, but it's just so fun. This is literally also from OPX, 3-octave knock, and then I added a little flanger to it so it would have a little bit more like meow, 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 meow. And then the Sweet Dreams, same, like, I didn't even add any plugins to it this time. But yeah, it's the same synth from before, from And I Want to Feel. And I just pitched it down 2 octaves so we would just have more lows in the song. And then, yeah, the only other element in that first verse is the vocals.
Getting stressed over the weight of my decisions. Getting used to existential dispositions.
So the vocals in this song, I had the doubles really loud, like the right and left. Usually I have them like half ratio kind of like the main line, but they're pretty much like the same volume. So then it's kind of like my vocals are very present in this song. And I really liked the feeling of like group vocals. Like this isn't a very vulnerable song. Like it is, but I almost like wanted it to feel like it isn't, just because like the production's weird. The vocal line is just like, it's like the song isn't about really like the vocals. I use that like screech to kind of transition throughout the song. So for the second verse, we have this synth come in, and this was actually a very late addition to the production. I was like almost gonna turn in the song for like the distributors, but I was like, it's missing something. And I added this, and it made a huge difference because there was just that note missing almost, and that just kind of like swell. It's just this synth it's like a stock Logic synth in Alchemy. It's called 80s Fantasy. But then I added a spreader and saturation onto it. And it kind of like, it's like brassy almost. Kind of like French horn vibes. And it just kind of like fills in the space that we're missing. I also literally added this whole drum kit, even though I'm only using one hat, which was just very lazy of me. Just because I just didn't feel like just importing the hat. I was like, oh, it's in this kit, I'll just use the whole kit. But I'm literally only using this. And I have a phaser on it and a tremolo, so it kind of just like is more wobbly. And so we have that. I have a lot of hats in this song. I have some backing vocals. So we have
Getting older's an expected imposition. Getting worse at learning all the definitions.
I really like the harmonies on this song. I think they're very like, what's the word? Like clashy? Like dissonant. That's a big music word. I love the dissonance in the harmonies. An additional thing that I love to have in almost every song now is yelling vocals.
I know I love attention.
It's just because I feel like anytime I have like a stupid line or like a speaking kind of line, if I yell it enough in the song, it doesn't sound as cringe. You know, it's like I'm really like committing to it. You're like, oh yeah, that's like an active choice. She's not like just being weird and cringe. Maybe it does still come across as cringe.
I know I love attention.
But I just like the kind of like theatrical like element that it brings. I don't know. I think it just makes it more like, I was gonna say fun, but I used fun too much. I need more words. I think it makes it very energetic, enthusiastic, exciting. I know words. In addition to the yelling ones, I have
of my throat.
These like song or these like vocals, I use tremolo a lot in this, like honestly in all my songs. I think it's a very fun way to just add like cooler variability and stuff to your songs just by like moving things in different directions. But yeah, I wanted like the up thing to also just like have more of like a kind of like it's pulling you each way. So then that transitions into the chorus.
Coming up, out of my throat. Where do you go? Where do you go?
So the chorus is again like the synths and the drums kind of the same throughout the whole song. I'm just doing 2 chords, same drum loop. I stacked drum loops in the song, which is maybe an unpopular thing to do, and probably, you know, maybe it doesn't sound the cleanest, but this was a cool drum loop. I upped these frequencies so we would just have more like of the highs in it. And I put a spreader too, so it's kind of like in the back of the song almost. And with all of the drums together, this is what it sounds like. It's like there's almost too much going on, but like that was kind of the point. You know, I just wanted it to be like a what are you doing type of song. It's supposed to just be like, I feel like this is like when you like do something abstract, but it's really just like an ugly painting, so then you just say it's abstract. It's like kind of like my defense right now, but you know, that's what it's gonna be. Then like the other big main element in the chorus is I just have my vocals like yelling in the background.
Where do you go?
It's kind of like cheesy, like
Where do you go?
and then so I also have the melodic element up above, just like the
Where do you go?
so there's still just some like music to it, but then yeah, I also like it that I'm like yelling in the background. And then again we have the alternating.
Where do you go?
Because I like just having it coming from like the left, but it's like, where do you go? You know, do I go left or do I go right? Where do I go? We have the squeak just repeating like 4 times in this because I love it. And then the only new synth in the chorus is my favorite, pew pew. So I just have it like higher octave and lower octave. But it's just such a good synth. Like, it's this one again. Like, I used it in the last song, and it's just like, it's such a specific sound, but like, it just like, I think just makes it all the more, I want to say fun. It makes it all the more like engaging.
That's very nice.
I don't know. It really fills in.
Where do you go?
It's like you didn't know you needed that synth until it came in and you're like, oh, that's what this song was missing. So after the first chorus, we kind of just like break, like, and the drums stop.
I can't read between the lines.
But we still keep that synth. The synth is still going, and then the little pew pew thing like helps us transition into the next verse. Right there. And then I also have this like distorted violin sound, which is just very like, it's just the contact violin, like the Spitfire violin sound. Very like clean violin sound. Oh, which let me show you this little trick that I learned. If you like to make it sound like more realistic and for the violin to like flow in together, I didn't realize you literally just get your velocity below 19, and then any 2 notes you play will like glide into the next, instead of like, this is what it usually sounds like. That's just like switching instead of gliding. So it's like a super cool, I'm sure if I just would have read any sort of tutorial, I would have gotten to that way quicker than, literally I had this plugin for like a year and a half and never knew that. And then I wanted it to sound like it was coming from like a weird radio. So we have the decapitator on it, which is just what gives it that distorted sound. EQ'd it a little bit. I didn't really do much with the EQ. It's just like very minimal. And then ring shift kind of like thins it out and is like makes it even just like more like wobbly. And then the tremolo, that way we have it coming like from like the left to the right. So this is what it sounds like in a song.
I can't read between the lines. I mean, it's spelled out in front of me. Oh, please tell me why. You can't choose to be alive, but you can choose to die. Why was I forced to play a game before I knew I had the time?
So yeah, a lot of those elements are the same as before. Because the production, like the song, I feel like changes so much. Like this verse is like nothing like the first two verses. Like it's like a completely different cadence, flow. Like this song structure is almost that like of like a rap song where like you have your hook that comes in and repeats, but like the actual verses all just have a different. They're all just like different. Like you're not following one rhythm or melody. So because of that, I felt like I could keep the production pretty the same, but like the way I was singing it had to be fun and had to be engaging and had to be different. It was more about like having that sort of like character element coming through and like kind of like theatrical and just stupid. Like I'm being so stupid. Like this is how I'm singing it. Why was I forced to play a game before I knew I had the time? Like that is just bad singing. Like I'm not hitting any notes. I have a weird tone, but it's like that's like the point. Like it's like stupid.
Watch my skin turn sickly sweet.
So that part was, changing it up a little bit where it's like, okay, maybe there is some, less talky vocals, some more melodic. We have these harmonies.
Watch my skin turn sickly sweet.
Again, very dissonant, but just really like, these ones I do have the center in just so we really get it from all sides. So, and like because we have nothing else going on, like it's just those vocals, I really wanted them to like fill everything up. And then we go back into our same old. Oh, and an addition I did to the squeaks, I only like brought it in here for some reason, but I pitched it. The original is a lower octave and I pitched it up so then it sounds like a chord. Because we're using that element so much in the song, I wanted it to have a little bit of a difference.
My skin turns sickly sweet as I lay for eternity, sticky as I see through the dark. No going up.
So yeah, for that second part of that verse, we have like, again, the backing vocals. And a great way to like just have your vocals just like I didn't have to do that much to them because I'm like using like dynamics and stuff like as I'm singing it. So it's like instead of just singing the note, that helps a lot. And then yeah, we have like the distorted violin still going. Cuz I feel like this helps kind of like build up to the chorus because like Oh, I forgot I did this. I have it automated, so the tremolo gets automated, so then it's like, it's not happening, and then it turns on here, and then I automate that it like gets faster and faster, like the rate here just goes up. So it kind of like builds us to the next thing, and then I also have the frequency changing throughout. So it's like a very subtle change, but then it just like, it like makes it's like I feel like the subtle differences that you do, like the like little things, just helps like just move the song along, and then you're able to just like transition easier into the next part. Because then we have the same chorus.
Where do you go? Where do you go?
This chorus is really the same as the first one. The only thing I added is now I have multiple of the pew pew. But really everything else is like the same. I did sing it slightly differently in this verse or this part.
Where do you go? Where do you go? And there's nothing.
Versus.
Where do you go? Where do you go?
Like I like this one, I'm a little bit more like dragging my words, and this one I was like more like aggressive with them, which again like I think is because I'm repeating the chorus so much, it helps like change it up. that's kind of it for this song. This one is like, yeah, like not as much going on like production wise, but at the same time there is so much going on that it's like I didn't need to add that many like synths or that many drums and stuff. I do still have 81 tracks on this, so it's not like I didn't do much, but it's like it is a very like simply produced song, especially like I was very lazy in a lot of areas. And I mean, if you isolate tracks, you can hear that laziness, especially like I didn't clean up my audio like that much, and like there's like the clicks and stuff cutting out. So it's like maybe for a cleaner mix, I could have done that, but I was kind of just, I rushed this song, I will say. I was like just trying to get it out there. But I still like how it sounds. I think it goes to show that sometimes being super technical, it doesn't really matter. You know, I'm sure it would have given me a cleaner mix, but at this point in my life where I am at, I like the sound of this mix. And maybe in a year, I'll listen back to it and I'll be like, I should have taken that extra time, clean it up, change things. But right now, I'm happy with it. And I think it's good to just release stuff you're happy with in that moment, because you can always get better and you can always improve. But if you like how it sounds then, and it's fun and it gives you joy, just put it out there and then move on to the next thing. Wow, that got a little deep. Anyways, that's kind of all I have for you. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, or if there's anything here that I didn't really go in on that you have any questions on. I'll respond in the comments. But yeah, this one was a less in-depth breakdown than the last video for sure. But it was just because I don't want to repeat myself too much. And yeah, also I didn't really do as much in the song. There were a lot of like synths and stuff and tracks that didn't really have that many plugins on them. So that's just kind of what happened. See you later. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here and asking questions, and just, I don't know, just it makes everything a lot more fun when I get to share it with you. So, love you. Goodbye.
I feel stuck on the outside. Where do you go? Keep replaying the